for the skinny boy. Hopeless romantic swimming in a sea of masculinity, heart shattered into a million pieces, wondering, when will I belong? For the overweight girl, striving to airbrush her thoughts, covering up in clothes in order to hide her skin, trying on another diet for the paycheck-to-paycheck parents, overcome with the flames of consumerism, burned out with saying, no, we just can't buy it. Wondering, when will we belong? For the elderly walled up in a rest home, lost in transition, having so much still to give, wondering, when will I belong? For the ex-con with no job and mounds of debt, with stigma written on his resume, on his arms, and on his neck, wondering, when will I belong? For the outcast sitting alone at lunch period, staring across the quad at the popular kids, wondering, when will I belong? And for the struggling mom, sifting through her Instagram, staring across the city at the popular kids, wondering, when will I belong? Not really realizing that the popular drowning and striving to maintain perfection are all asking the same question: when will I belong? So I make this declaration: you belong. Your presence, your planted feet, the space that you occupy makes our community more complete. Say it with me. You belong. You belong. If you are well fed from conversation or empty with loneliness, if you always seem to be the life of the party, or if you can't seem to finish a conversation, slap yourself from talking too much, make dumb jokes, every exchange you feel like a burden, eyes of others drift around the room looking for a more important person, you. If you reside in the hills or your car or a tent in the creek, if you live all alone, whether by choice or circumstance, or you are crouch surfing through jam-packed 2-bedroom apartments, you. If you know exactly who you are, or have spent your whole life still wondering, you belong. The self-disciplined and the addict. If you're used to saying the words, I love you, Mom and Dad, or if your life has been one long stretch towards the family that you've never had, or if your foster parents are doing the best they can, but you all realize for the first time, none of us will ever understand. Male, female, or somewhere outside or in between, finally trying to lift a voice for the song you need to sing. If for 50 years you've been blessed to call the same place home, or traveled 1,000 miles and still have nowhere to call your own, if your life has been ripped out from under you, fleeing to be free, no longer in the same place, but displaced, now called refugee. If you're rooted deep in your culture or rediscovering your origins, unearthing past oppressors, oppressions, and cultural abortion, or lost in a plastic experience where all the tastes are bland and for the first time realizing this is not my ancestors' land. If you pride yourself on equity and feel you covered all the bases, or like an alcoholic, you're brave enough to stand and say, hi, I'm Sam. I think I'm racist. If you were born with all the right documents in a nation filled with immigrants, or if your status causes arguments. If not treated as equal, your presence, beliefs, and people are often considered evil. Listen, no human being is illegal. No one's story is too odd not to be heard. I think of the Zulu word, Ubuntu, meaning humanity. All interconnected, 1,000 different versions built to lift up each other's burdens. A person is a person through other persons. I am because we are. You are because we are. We are because we are. Longing to be belong. You see, there's a table prepared for all who are hungry, and it's free. No one's excluded, no matter your label or history, and like a beggar I've come. With this bread I have found, not having all answers, but no longer bound. You who were loved, come join the song, belong.
Amen.